Kidnappers operating in the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) are becoming more daring by the day as they have started collecting ransom from their victims via bank accounts, contrary to their usual style of receiving cash, Daily Trust reports. Last week alone, Daily Trust reported 2 kidnap operations by armed men on Tunga Maje community in the outskirts of the city. The marauders returned to the community on Wednesday after they had abducted 6 persons from the area a day earlier. Other FCT suburbs such as Kuje, Buari, and Abaji have experienced staggered spike in incidences in the last few months. While such kidnappers usually release their victims after collecting cash payment, a new trend suggests that they are devising new means of getting the ransom amount. In April, a former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), Kingsley Moghalu, alleged that terrorists and kidnappers had started making ransom demands in cryptocurrencies. Though it was not specific of which particular groups of the criminals resort to such method, the ex-central banker said the new trend called for more regulation and government's attention on the cryptocurrency markets around the world. Some Nigerians have complained of how banks make it difficult to retrieve information about criminals who defraud unsuspecting members of the public using bank accounts. Hamisu Ibrahim, an Abuja resident, recalled how bureaucracies in the bank made him lose money to a criminal group after he was made to make payments. A financial fraud expert, Umar Yakubu, said detecting criminals who follow former financial system is an easy thing to do, except if the will is lacking. Kidnappers on Wednesday, June 16, picked up their victims, Mrs. Aminat Adewuyi, and 4 others at Madala Junction when going on shopping to the popular Ibrahim Babangida market in Suleja, Niger State. Daily Trust reliably gathered that the victims' relatives paid ransom money ranging between 500,000 naira and 1 million naira to a designated bank account provided by the kidnappers before they secured their freedom. A brother of Mrs. Adewuyi, who did not want his name in print, said while negotiating with them, the criminals initially demanded the sum of 5 million naira from each of their victims. The kidnappers later agreed to collect 500,000 from Adewuyi's relatives after 2 days and much pleas. The negotiator said the criminals threatened to slaughter the woman if the ransom was not paid within 48 hours and insisted that they preferred collecting the ransom via bank than the usual cash. The ransom payment slip, a copy of which was obtained by Daily Trust, showed that Adewuyi's husband paid the sum of 500,000 naira into an Access Bank account with number 140376222 and the name Badawi Abba Enterprise. Narrating her ordeal on and how it happened to Daily Trust, Adewi said, "We boarded a bus to a junction opposite Sako Filling Station near the popular NYC junction in Kubwa when going to Suleja Market. Majority of the passengers in the bus alighted at Zuba. The driver wanted to drop off the remaining few passengers also, but he managed to take us to Madala Junction, the road that leads to Dakwa. But when we got to Madala Junction, the driver said we should board another vehicle going to Suleja. The remaining 5 of us women stopped a vehicle calling Suleja, and the bus driver settled him and we left. Immediately we entered, the driver centrally locked all the doors and would unwind up all the windows. It was that time we knew that all the glasses were tinted. 4 of us sat at the back seat. One sat together with a man in front, including the driver. When they finished winding up the glasses, they brought out guns, knives, and bottles of coke, saying we should cooperate. They ordered us to drink the coke mixed with codeine, but I insisted I wouldn't. The man in front raised a knife and gave me one codeine to drink, but I pretended as if I had taken it. He could not do anything with his weapon because it was too tight in the vehicle. Some of the victims who took the coke had started sleeping before we reached the bush when they took us to. Despite the fact that I didn't sleep, I can't recognize where they took us to. I only know that the vehicles that conveyed us turned left immediately after Ķ1Þ, the popular place they are selling meats. Before Suleja, Ķ1TA is after Wakwashi. Our vehicle drove into the bush, and when it couldn't go further because the remaining road was a pathway, 3 persons that had already been waiting for them with bikes conveyed us with their bikes into the deep bush. There was only one house in that bush. They kept us there and they were giving us bread and sachet water. One of us was released that same day because she had money in her account and transferred it to them immediately we got there. They were already sharpening their knives to slaughter me after 2 days when they couldn't get an alert from my husband. It was only God that saved me that day. Adewuyi's husband at the time said he had formally reported the matter at the anti-kidnapping unit of the Nigerian police in Jabi. When contacted, the spokesperson for the FCT Police Command, ASP Miriam Yusuf, said the command had deployed overt and covert strategies to checkmate criminality within FCT, including special anti-kidnapping operations. Detecting kidnappers now political choices, experts says. In a telephone interview with our correspondent last night, a financial crime expert and former staff of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Umar Yakubu, said a situation where kidnappers were not tracked down after collecting ransom through financial institutions shows that detection of the criminal is now a political choice. Yakubu, who is also the CEO of Counter Fraud Center, said with such development there will be an end to such criminality and it will continue to hurt the economy of the country. He said, in all matters of crime and all manner of criminality, a major feature is stealth attempts to evade detection. That is why law enforcement agencies are established to detect through investigation. But if we have a situation where criminals are demanding for ransom payments through financial institutions where all customers' due diligence records are supposed to be harbored, then there is a need for concern. It means they are not afraid of being detected. So there is no need to waste resources on finding out who they are. They ought to be known. The government wants to open a war front indefinite war front. It definitely cannot succeed. From example, in Mexico, Iraq, Afghanistan, India, and other countries, they have high incidences of kidnapping of ransom. There has never been a case of payment through bank accounts. The government needs to have a rethink because this action means a whole new development. Industry would be open for further criminality. So guys, you see the kind of a system that we are running. Buhari and his cohorts, they are going after Sunday Igboho, EFCC, the DSS, and all of them. And after Nnamdi Kanu, they will tell you that if you don't register your this and this and that, they've told us that it's not going to be possible for them to track all these bandits using a phone number to call. Now it has gotten to that level of using this thing, using bank to do their collect their money, and you want to tell them that they are not aware of those things. Let them continue because it's happening over there. It will not make a round. But if they want to arrest Yahoo boys in the southern part of the country, it will be very, very easy for them to give them a media trial. Well, it makes it easy for everyone. First of all, the ransom collected will be useless because withdrawal from such account would be blocked. The owner will be easily traced. Really, this confirms our suspicion for the security operatives are lame or complicit. There's no end to this kidnapping if our security is entrusted in stopping it. They are not doing anything about it.